The reason that we began defining to you right from the beginning of our conversations about step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is because we wanted you to realize that in the asking, you summon energy. So the summoning of energy is something that you don't have to consider. You just do it all day, every day. You can't stop law of attraction. You can't take yourself out of the game. So here you are summoning energy all the time. That's just a given. It's what you do. And it's source energy. It's source energy knowing and wanting to blow and flow through you. It's the momentum of all that you've lived before. It's powerful, and it is, you see. So you can't stop. You can't cease the summoning of energy. But you can not allow the energy that you're summoning, and that's what your emotions are all about. To the degree that you allow the energy that your life is summoning, you feel fantastic. But if you don't allow the energy that you are summoning, you feel lethargic, you feel exhausted, you feel a depletion of energy. And it's not because there's a depletion of energy, it's because there's a false stopping of the energy that you've summoned. It's like pulling and pushing. But here's the thing that we really want you to hear. The summoning of energy always will win. That's a momentum that's bigger than you can even get your thoughts around. The momentum of your bigness, the momentum of your longevity, the momentum of your eternalness. This is a really, really big energy that you are coming to terms with now. So when you're born with big purpose like you are, and you pick up thoughts along your physical trail that say, I'm not good at this and I'm not worthy, so that you block the energy that you've naturally summoned, then you feel belligerent and uncomfortable. But when you are allowing the energy that you've naturally summoned to flow, then you are thriving and you're successful and you're happy. You see what we're getting at? Right here and now, you have some control about the energy that you've summoned. You can let it in or not. And the more of it you learn to let in, the more you thrive and the better you feel, the more vital you are and the better life is and the more sweet spots you stand in, the more you rave about the beauty of your life. It's all about what you're doing in the now. So are we in some form of agreement? Do you accept that the energy is flowing and that you've been summoning it? Yes. And do you accept that it was flowing even before you got here in this physical body? Do you accept the momentum of the energy that's flowing? And do you accept that your inner being is in on all of that, flowing with the energy, flowing with it to you, consciousness flowing, it's energy flowing. And so then do you accept that you have some sort of relationship with that energy that is summoning that you can't stop from summoning? It's inevitable. You have summoned it. It's inevitable. But if you want to know what you're doing with the energy that you've summoned, oh, what a momentum. Lifetimes of momentum, lifetimes of goodness, lifetimes of expectation. Talk about momentum. Not just what you've added in this physical time-space reality. This momentum of who you are and what you're about. If you want to know what you're doing as you meet the energy, if you want to know, 2 ways to know. How do you feel? And how are the manifestations of your life presenting themselves to you? Isn't that nice to know? And isn't it nice to know that you can do something about it now? Do you think you have the ability to be a little bit more optimistic? Even when it's hard, do you think you have the ability to be? Can you speak more positive words? Can you stop arguing for your limitations? Can you look for reasons to feel good? Can you get an early start on it? Can you get a good night's sleep? Can you get up and look for good things to feel good about it? Can you get some positive momentum going within yourself? Can you match? You're getting up to speed with the energy that you are in this conversation that we're having together. You are. You can feel it in yourself, can't you? Can't you feel yourself becoming clearer and surer about things? Don't you feel like you know things that you didn't know even a few hours ago? Don't you feel more confident? Aren't you feeling the energy flowing? You are. You're allowing more of it to flow through you because you've been listening. Now you could go to a concert and listen to that. You could go swim with the dolphins and do that. You could put your feet in a stream that is flowing. There are so many ways to get yourself up to speed with this energy that's flowing. But friends, nothing less will do. There's no point in writing any more books about what to do. Who's right and who's wrong about things. There's no point in discussing behavior or actions because all that is just sort of accepting not being connected and then just making the best of it as we bang around together. That won't do for you. You've got the energy that creates worlds flowing through you, you see. You've summoned more than you are right now allowing. And that's true of almost every person that we ever visit with. Esther too. You summon more than you allow, and then you don't feel good. But the option isn't to settle down. The option isn't to try to summon less. The only option is to get up to speed with what lifetimes of you have summoned for you. You think we're trying to talk you out of manifestations, but we're not. You think we're trying to talk you out of needing to be where you want to be in order to be happy. We're not talking you out of continuing the journey. We want all the full manifestations for you. It is a delicious thing to be in a physical body and to come to an awareness of what you want and to hold yourself in that place where it's lovely, 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 lovely. And we acknowledge when the manifestation of what you're looking for occurs, that is the sweetest, 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 sweetest experience. But when the manifestation matters so much that the not yet manifestation of it is painful, then there's something that is really out of whack, you see. When you really get it that you are part of a collective consciousness and that all of you is being satisfied and that all of you can get everything that you want and that in your interaction with each other that you are yielding to each other what you are wanting, then you realize that there's no possibility of you not getting what you want, that your receiving of something can in no way deprive anyone else of it. The vortex is that abundant, it's that nurtured, it's that understood, and it is that tended to. It's that powerful, it's that creative, it's that wonderful, it is that potential. But in order for you to get from the vortex what you deserve, you have to understand that the vortex is all of that. You see what we're getting at? You have to understand that it is that. Begin watching in the days that are coming those moments when you have true realization that you and another, or maybe many others, were served at the same time. Served at the same time. When before you felt that it was one or the other of us that could be served, because there's this sense that the pie's only so big. And if I get my big slice and somebody else gets their big slice, that after a while the slices will all be divided out and newcomers will not have access to any slices. And it is never like that. The vortexual pie is exponentially expanding. And it isn't even just the sum of what you have individually put into it. Let's imagine that there are 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 100 or a billion of you. It doesn't matter what number you want to assign to this exercise, and that you've all put your request for something into the vortex. And so here's this vortex that is responding to what you've all asked for. But the sum of the vortex is not just the sum of the individual requests that you've put in, because the vortex has taken on a life of its own as it's been responding to the other requests that are there. And so the vortex itself is bigger than the sum of what you've all put into it. And so that's why you get way more out of it than only what you've put into it. That's why everybody gets satisfied by what's there. Everybody receives the results that they're looking for. And your result in no way can deprive anybody else from their result. But this conversation, in order for you to grasp it, you are grasping it. We are really pleased with how you've followed this conceptual, imaginary vortex that you can't see or hear or smell or taste or touch yet. But as you accept the existence of it, and you put the one component that is necessary, it's a big piece of what this conversation is about. As you work to foster your sense of worthiness, as you work to foster your sense of I like me, as you deliberately think thoughts about yourself and look for reasons to like yourself and take everyone else out of the equation, you just find, if you can, your relationship with your own inner being until you are trusting in the goodness that comes to you. The combination of that feeling of worthiness and what this exponentially expanded law of attraction based vortex has to yield to you, you're going to find yourself walking through life feeling like the most blessed person that you've ever known, ever. It's that abundant, and your receptive ability is that great, but it takes some practice. And it's not going to be about only the big things that come, like the fortunes or the relationships or the empires or the whatever it is that you might have your sights on. It's the rendezvous here and there. It's the way you are touched. It's the insightful feelings that you have. It's your sense of well-being. It's your sense of placement in the world. It's your sense of understanding of the greater universe. It's your sense of who you really are. It's your feeling of wholeness as you are moving about the world with others who are also catching on to their wholeness. And so when conscious beings like you, who have found a way to be consistently whole, begin rendezvousing with others of you who have consistently found how to be whole, then what happens in your individual experiences is that there's an exponential explosion, which is what you came for. Not to fix things that are broken, but to explore the boundaries of your ability to identify desires. Ooh, life is so good on planet Earth. Let's say that this now doesn't quite yet include a full-blown see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it manifestation of what you want. It doesn't include it. So what are you going to do? How are you going to approach this now that doesn't include it? Are you going to approach it with lack consciousness? Where's this stuff I want? Or are you going to look for what is there? You're going to look for what's there, or you're going to notice what isn't there. We want to find a way to help you find and make peace and feel satisfaction with now. Because, now holds everything that you want. The now that you're going to live when the manifestation has happened does not have the potential of being richer and sweeter than the now before it has happened in terms of manifestation. You heard it, but did you hear it? This now that does not quite yet include the manifestation of the lover that you want or the money that you want in your bank account. This now holds all of the potential for satisfaction that the now will hold once the lover's there and the money's in the bank. Can you accept that? If you've come along with us, and we know that you have, in this discussion of this powerful now, because what is the satisfaction in any moment in time? What is the satisfaction of now? Think about it. We've been talking about it all day. What is the true satisfaction of now? Me being in sync with my inner being's broader point of view about same subject. So my inner being understands something that I may not understand. My inner being knows that the journey started way before the $100,000 came in order to take me on a vacation. My inner being enjoyed the contrast, enjoyed that part of the journey. My inner being enjoyed the questions and me tossing things into my vortex. My inner being enjoyed that part of it. My inner being enjoyed watching law of attraction gather all of the aspects. My inner being enjoyed the gestation process of the vortex. My inner being enjoyed the momentum of the vortex getting more and more and more. And my inner being enjoyed watching me getting closer and closer and closer to being in harmony with it. And my inner being enjoyed me being in harmony with it. My inner being enjoyed that joyous now where I was in harmony with the vortex. In harmony with the vortex. It hasn't manifested yet. It hasn't manifested yet, but when I'm in harmony with what's in it, it's as good as if it is manifested. It's just going to manifest. It's like the subject, we've given you this story before. You're on your way somewhere. Esther likes to drive long distances. So 500 miles in this day is easy. 6 is even better. 7's even better. 700 miles in a day, ooh, what a good day that is. So much that you can see in a day when you've driven 700 miles. And even better if you get to drive day after day after day after day after day like that. And more beautiful things and more and more and more and more and more. And you're on your way. She's in San Diego and she's on her way to New York. Ooh, on her way to New York. On her way to New York. Not in New York. On her way to New York. Not in New York. On her way to New York. Where are you going? New York. Are you there yet? No. 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 Not in New York. Not in New York. Not in 5 days. Not yet in New York. Not in New York. Not in New York. Not there yet. Not there yet. Not there yet. Not there yet. So what? So what? Does it matter that you're not there? No, it doesn't, because where are you? You are where you are. And it's beautiful here too. All the wonderful things that are going to be in New York are here right now. Everything that you're looking for in your manifestations is here right now. This universe can yield to you every single thing that you want in every moment. Talk about a microcosm that is ripe and abundant with the ability to thrill you. But if you're shortage consciousness about where you're not yet, then you put yourself in a position where you're shut down and your now cannot yield to you what it has the potential of yielding to you. Really good.